Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to day 2 of Unit 2. Today we are talking about combining like terms, all right? And so to get started, I first want to talk about the different parts of an expression, okay? And so in an expression, you have what each part of an expression is what is called a term. Say that with me, term, okay? So a term is each part, and each term is separated by an addition sign or a subtraction sign, okay? So here we have two types of terms. We have variable terms, and variable terms are the terms that have a variable with it, that has a letter with it. And so for here, I'm just gonna circle all of my variable terms, okay? These are all of my variable terms. So my variable terms are 14x, negative 2x, and I want you to see that when I circled that term, I did include the negative sign that is in front of it, or the subtraction sign. I included it with it. So the sign that goes in front of it is the one that goes with that term, all right? Then you also have negative 5x, okay? So those are our variable terms, right? The terms that include a letter, all right? Next, we have constant terms. And our constant terms are terms that do not have a variable. It says without a letter, okay? And so I am going to box these, okay? And so my constant terms are each of those that do not have a letter with it, don't have a variable. So we have 9, we have 8, and then we have 1, all right? So those are our terms. Now, I also want to talk about another important term that you need to know is the term coefficient. And the coefficient is the number that is next to or that is in front of the letter, okay? So coefficients are only connected to variable terms, okay? And so our coefficients, change this color here, all right, our coefficients, I'm just gonna underline, are 14, right? It's the number in front of the letter. It is negative 2, and then it is negative 5. So those are our coefficients, okay? And so when we go to combine our like terms, really what we're going to be doing is we're going to be either adding or subtracting our coefficients, all right? So these are the parts of an expression. Again, this is some of the important terminology, all right? Now, again, today we are going to be combining like terms, and the purpose of combining like terms is in order to simplify, okay? So instead of having this really long expression like we have up here, we are just, combining like terms is going to simplify it. It's going to sort of make it smaller. And you do this means that we have to, like I said, we have to add or subtract the variable terms and the constants. In other words, we are adding or subtracting all of the terms that are alike, all right? So I have 3 examples here that we are going to walk through together, and then you are going to do some examples on your own, all right? So the first thing I want to do, I have this really long expression. The first thing I have to do is to identify the like terms. And so like terms are either they have the same variable or they are constants, right? So I'm going to, and I like to start by, you don't have to circle it. You could put a square around it, you could put a triangle. Again, I'm always going to circle the first variable term. So I am circling all of the terms that are alike. Okay, so those all have X's, right? And remember, when you circle it, you have to include whatever sign is in front of it. Whatever, if it's an addition sign, you include the addition sign. If it's a subtraction sign, you include that, okay? So those are all my variable terms. Hey, while you're taking notes, I want to encourage you to use either color pencils that I've provided to do different colors in terms of circling these. If you can color code these, it might help you, okay? And so then I'm also going to put a box around all of my constant terms, all of my terms that do not have a variable. Okay, and so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the like terms together, meaning I'm going to put all my circles together, and then I'm going to put all my my boxes together. All right, so let's start with the circles. All right, so I have 14x. Okay, and when I do that, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add or subtract the coefficient. Okay, so 14 minus 2. 14 minus 2 is 12. And then 12 minus 5 is 7. Okay, so we got 7x. Okay, that's when I combine all of my variable terms. And now I want to go and add the constant terms. So I got a positive 9 plus 8. So 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 plus 1 is 18. So we got plus 18. Okay, so the simplified expression is 7x plus 18. Again, what you need to understand is this unit is all about equivalent expressions. This expression right here is equivalent to that simplified expression. All right, so pretty simple. Let's continue on. All right, so this next one has fractions, and you are going to have to know how to do fractions, but friends, it is the same thing, all right? It is no different just because it has a fraction. We're going to treat it just like it was a whole number. So I'm going to start by, I'm going to circle all of my variable terms. Remember, I'm circling the sign that goes in front of it as well, okay? And then I'm going to put a box around all of my variable terms. Plus 6, negative 7, and then plus 10 or a positive 10, all right? And so then I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to put together all of the circles. I'm going to put together all of the squares, right? And so 2/3 minus 1/3. And so if you don't know what, the fraction that you're dealing with, this was a pretty simple one, but you might encounter some fractions that you don't remember how to add or subtract them. That's okay. Just use your calculator. You can put 2/3 minus 1/3 straight into decimals, and it will give you the correct answer. So 2/3 minus 1/3 is going to give me 1/3 x, okay? And then I'm going to put together all of my constants. So I got a positive 6 minus 7. So 6 minus 7 is going to give me a negative 1. And then negative 1 plus 10 is going to give me a positive 9. Again, friends, if you don't know how to do this mentally, just plug it into your calculator and you are good to go there. All right. So my simplified expression is 1/3 x plus 9. All right. Now, this is the last one. All right. So, and for this one, there is something specific that I want to point out to you here. Okay. So I'm going to start by circling my variable terms. I got a plus 21a. I got a negative a. And then I got, sorry, I forgot that one, a plus 7a. Okay. So those are all my variable terms. Okay. Now let's get to my constant terms. I got a negative 5, a plus 5, and then a negative 1. Okay. And so here is what I want to point out, and this is super important. Okay. So when I go to combine these, all right, I need you to understand that if a letter is just by itself and it doesn't have a number in front of it, it doesn't have a coefficient, there is what is called an imaginary 1 there. Okay, this is super important. Okay, so that A does have a 1 in front of it. It's just 1A, right? So it's negative 1A. So again, if a letter does not have a number in front of it, there is an imaginary 1 there. So I want you to write that note because that's important. You're going to really need that in the future. Okay, so if a variable doesn't have a number, I'm going to say a coefficient because that's really what it's called. If it doesn't have a coefficient, okay, then there is an imaginary 1. imaginary 1, okay? And again, I'm having you write that because that is super important, all right? Again, there's an imaginary 1 that is in front of the A, all right? So let's, we're almost done. Let's go ahead and add these. So we got plus positive 21A plus 7A, so 21 plus 7 is 28. 28 minus 1, 28 minus 1 is going to give us 27A, okay? And then let's go ahead and add the constants. Negative 5 plus 5 is going to give me 0, and then minus 1 is going to give me a negative 1, all right? And so these 3 examples, again, kind of span all of the different types that you might see, okay? So now it is your turn, all right? And so you have 5 examples. I want you to go ahead and pause the video here, all right? Pause it. Again, it's super important that you pause it here and see if you can work these out. And then once you have worked them out, then I want you to go back and check your answers, all right? So pause it and come back and check it. All right. All right, as I go over these, I'm no longer going to color code it just so I can move through it relatively quickly. So 10x minus 5x is 5x plus 4x is 9x. 7x plus 1, 8 plus 2 is 10. All right. Then 13 over 2g plus, so again, I'm just, for these ones, I'm just circling both of these and I add them, and I actually need to pull up my Desmos because I don't. All right, just want to show y'all how to put this into the calculator. So 13 over 2, just want to show you, I could have done it without the calculator, stop playing with me. But I want you to see how to do it in the event that I don't. Okay, so if I did not know, so 13 over 2 plus 10 over 4, and that gives me 9, okay? So 9g is when I combine those, all right? Next, again, remember there's an imaginary 1 there. 8 minus 1 is 7, 7 minus 3 is 4k, and then plus 10, okay? And then combining my like terms, okay, 9y plus, I'm sorry, 9v plus 7v is 16v. Negative 2 plus 8 is plus 6. All right. And then lastly, okay, so we got 5 over 2m minus 1/2 m. When I do that, that's going to give me 4 over 2, which is actually just 2m. And then negative 1/3 plus plus 5/3 is going to give me plus 4/3. All right. And so that is how you simplify expressions by combining like terms. I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions, please comment. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.